As expected from what's supposed to be the toughest series of the playoffs, Game 1 already went into overtime in a crazy battle, but Denver barely grabbed the win thanks to Westbrook's Professor mode, and now they're hoping to go up 2-0 at home. Meanwhile, the Clippers, who blew the lead in Game 1, knew that if they won tonight, they could have stolen home court advantage. So Game 2 was their shot at redemption. Jokic confidently launched a three to pull Zubac out of the paint, but Zubac still kept scoring, no matter who was guarding him. Kawhi, who had way too many turnovers in Game 1, knocked down a jumper and barely held his ground against Aaron Gordon's physical defense. Even with Kawhi shifting into beast mode, it was still Denver who jumped ahead by forcing turnovers. For Denver, every live ball turnover meant a fast break bucket, but the Clippers struggled as Norman Powell kept missing shots. So unlike last game, they couldn't control the pace early.
Here early as it beats Zubac is fine on the bench right now. Kawhi Leonard taking over, looking aggressive. We like it. He's 3 for 3, counted at a foul.
We talked about his.
But Kawhi, locked in tonight, scored with an and one, proving real stars don't have two bad games in a row. Simons subbed in early for Zubac, also got his first points of the series. Sure, the Clippers' small ball lineup struggled with rebounds, but Kawhi's shooting touch today was something else. He kept going after Murray on mismatches, showing no mercy. It clearly showed the Clippers planned those mismatches ahead of time. Westbrook, who flipped Game 1 on its head, scored right after checking in, but the Professor got too hyped and coughed up the ball right after. Meanwhile, James Harden, who couldn't hit anything tonight, tried to bail Russ out but made a sloppy turnover himself. Then Westbrook missed 3 shots in a row. Yeah, Russ and Harden were running the game, just not in a good way. Still, Denver controlled the first quarter with dominant fast breaks. But as soon as Jokic hit the bench, Denver fell apart with back-to-back sloppy plays. Meanwhile, the Clippers rode Kawhi's flawless shooting performance and tied the game thanks to Derrick Jones Jr.'s hustle energy. On the flip side, you could really tell how important Jokic is to Denver. Still, Michael Porter Jr. showed better scoring than last game, and Jamal Murray's three-point touch helped keep them afloat. Bogdanovic's brickfest made things tough for the Clippers. And even during Denver's bench minutes, LA couldn't take the lead. So in the end, Denver survived the stretch without Jokic, and then Russ surprised everyone with a deep three.
Taking over from Malone, who had been here a decade, took him to a championship, and has not lost a game. As Gordon is fouled on a putback. Offensive rebound.
And then Westbrook busted out a never-before-seen three-point alley-oop pass. Since it drew a shooting foul, it still counted as a three. But even with Westbrook in full Professor mode, Kawhi's flawless performance and Harden finally got dialed in, drilling a transition three. The Clippers locked in on defense and forced a Jokic turnover.
And done once again, right place, right time. Clippers looking for the lead. It's Leonard with the punch, and it's a Clipper lead by 1.
Harden and Kawhi then teamed up for a fast break dunk to take the lead. All of this happened in just one crazy minute. Looks like Harden is finally getting back to form. Of course, Denver wasn't going to give up the lead that easy. Jokic and Murray kept them alive with some big-time buckets.
5 to play. Leonard is aware. Kawhi ahead of the shot clock. Oh, it goes! Oh, my goodness! Playoff Kawhi is back.
But the first half belonged to Kawhi. Dude looked like Toronto Kawhi again. Maybe we just need to keep him in red forever. The Clippers, led by Kawhi's insane 21-point first half, finally flipped the momentum after trailing all game. For Denver, the real regret was not pulling away when they had the chance. They tried to fight back with Aaron Gordon's physical presence. But Harden's bounce-back performance was just as impressive as Kawhi's. With both Harden and Kawhi locked in, the Clippers took control and reminded everyone what superstar power really looks like. Even though Norman Powell was still ice-cold shooting-wise, Zubac's strong defense forced Jokic into another turnover. Honestly, how many guys in the league can guard Jokic one-on-one? Still, right after his mistake, Jokic dished out a clean kick-out pass, but Kawhi kept knocking down mid-range jumpers like a robot and finally headed to the bench for some rest.
Game 1, Harden had some foul trouble, so he and Leonard were on the bench at the same time, and Murray just picks up Powell, and Powell's having none of it. And Dunn comes in with...
Norman Powell and Jamal Murray really started going at it. They'd been bumping into each other all game, and reminded everyone just how intense this matchup is. It was a moment that could have thrown both teams off their rhythm, especially since players started reacting hard to every call. Whichever team kept their cool had the edge. Then Harden, who'd been mostly passing, pulled up with a step-back three, and somehow the Clippers held on to the lead. So Jokic, who'd been quiet offensively, turned it on all of a sudden, helping Denver stop the game from slipping away, and that set us up for a neck-and-neck final quarter. Yeah, not a single easy game in this series. Denver didn't give Jokic any early fourth quarter rest, and even without rest, he drilled a huge three to take back the lead. But then Kawhi came back in and immediately went on attack mode.
Here's Leonard. Kawhi, the three. Ow! He's taking a walk with the basketball gods. 80.
Tonight, Kawhi looked less like a man and more like a machine. As expected in a game that never had a double-digit lead, Denver kept closing the gap every time it looked like it might open up. Russell Westbrook hit back-to-back corner threes. Yeah, for real. Then it basically turned into a Kawhi versus Russ showdown, and we entered full-on clutch mode with constant lead changes. Powell, who'd been driving fans crazy, switched it up and started attacking the rim, and it looked like the Clippers might actually hold on. Just barely. But then James Harden turned it over in the worst possible way, and Michael Porter Jr., finally on point, nailed a massive three. With 4 minutes left, it was like the game hit reset. But Jokic started missing free throws here and there, and his lack of rest was clearly catching up to him.
He doubled, in trouble. Brown, Gordon, what a play. Oh, he missed a dunk! Oh my goodness!
Then came a moment no one could believe in crunch time. Aaron Gordon missed an open dunk. Yeah, you read that right. Even Westbrook wouldn't miss that kind of dunk. Denver tried to recover with a Murray three, but then turned it right back over on the next possession.
Powell for three in the lead. Yes, sir! 103 to 100.
And out of nowhere, disappointing all game, Powell hit a huge shot. Finally, Powell came through when it counted. Of course, there was still time. No need to panic for Denver just yet. Even running on fumes, Jokic still got to the line. Then he tried to bait Harden into a foul. But it was way too obvious. Total flop move. With just a minute left, it was officially super clutch time. The Clippers needed just one more big bucket to seal it.
Rises. Oh, he's done it again! 39 for Kawhi Leonard!
Kawhi didn't care who was in front of him. He pulled up and nailed the jumper. He was ready to close this one out all by himself. But Denver still had plenty of time to tie it up.
Brown for three. Jokic, a contested three. And the Clippers are going to do it. We are tied at one apiece, and we're headed to Inglewood. Wow.
Christian Braun and Jokic both missed their threes, though. And just like that, Denver's shot at a 2-0 home lead slipped away. Jokic, who didn't rest all second half, ended up with 7 turnovers. A harsh reminder that even he's human. Meanwhile, the Clippers got a win that could totally shift the series. And at the heart of it all, Kawhi Leonard going absolutely nuclear. This game had 18 lead changes. Yeah, it was that wild. With this clutch Game 2 win, the Clippers took control of the series and they officially stole home court advantage. Kawhi stayed hot from start to finish, barely missing proving exactly why he's a 2-time Finals MVP. He completely dominated both ends of the floor. Tonight, he was basically Michael Jordan with a 3 ball,